Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. Now we are about 1 week into December and Major League Baseball's winter meetings have begun. With that being said, we finally see the hot stove warming up a little bit. We've seen 2 trades over the course of the last day. A few signings here and there, but no big name free agents finding a home quite yet. In this video, we're going to talk about the 2 significant trades that have gone down throughout the league over the course of the last 24 hours or so. The first of which being Raisel Iglesias going from the Reds to the Angels, and then the other is Lynn going out to the Windy City. He will play in Chicago with the White Sox for 2021. If you guys are ready for this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's get into it, starting off with the Raisel Iglesias trade. The Cincinnati Reds have traded right-handed reliever Jose Iglesias to the Los Angeles Angels in exchange for right-handed pitcher Noah Ramirez and a player to be named later. Now, these 2 teams essentially just swapped relievers. However, the Los Angeles Angels did get the better player here on their half of the deal. Iglesias will be a free agent after 2021, so there is not much control time here for the Angels, but he is definitely the more signified player and the better player overall in this trade. So Iglesias leaves the Reds and heads out to Los Angeles now, where he will play in this upcoming season. Now you look at this trade, well, why did the Reds get rid of a right-handed reliever just to receive a right-handed reliever? And it all comes down to financial issues, money, all that good stuff. The Cincinnati Reds wanted a salary dump. Now Iglesias was set to make just over $9 million in 2021, and I believe Ramirez is only set to make like $1 million, give or take. So this is a large difference here. The Reds are going to be able to use a little bit of that money elsewhere, whether it's this offseason or another. So the big part of this trade here, the main reason why the Reds traded Iglesias, because he is such a good reliever, is just money. So they got rid of that $9 million contract, and now they have Noah Ramirez in their bullpen in the back end instead of Raisel Iglesias. Also, working off that point, the Cincinnati Reds seem to yet again be in this rebuild phase. They're losing Trevor Bauer to free agency, and I highly doubt he returns at this point. And then there was already rumors going around that Sonny Gray is available. So those are 2 big starting pitchers that played a big role for Cincinnati in this abbreviated 2020 season that may not be on the team here in 2021. So now they're getting rid of a big reliever in Raisel Iglesias, who has done some great things in his career. We'll get to the numbers in just a minute here, but really, you have Aristides Aquino, Nick Castellanos, Mike Moustakas, Joey Votto. Like, you still have some of the big hitters on this team, but the Reds are really going out there this offseason and kind of getting rid of some names here and some big names. So, honestly, if you're a team right now in the market for a starting pitcher, I would be in the ears of the Reds looking at Sonny Gray, because they do seem to want to move him. So right now, a lot of rumors going on with Cincinnati. They do trade Raisel Iglesias, and now let's get into his numbers and his recent success. Iglesias in 2020 pitched in 22 games, winning 4, losing 3, and recording 8 saves. He had a 2.74 ERA in that time. In 23 innings pitched, he struck out 31 batters and posted a whip of 0.91. Now, in 274 career games, Iglesias is 18-32 with 106 saves, alongside a 3.15 ERA, striking out 479 batters in a little over 411 innings, and a whip of 1.12. So Iglesias is a very, very good pitcher out of the back end of the bullpen. You look at the Los Angeles Angels, who want to go ahead and bring Mike Trout to a postseason for once, and this is something that they really needed. Their pitching has struggled quite a bit over the last few seasons. Adding Raisel Iglesias is a huge plus. You look at the Angels lineup, you got Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, who they signed last year, Shohei Ohtani, who was a 2-way player, the first to do so since Babe Ruth, which is incredible. He's such a great talent on that team. So you already right there have Trout, Ohtani, Rendon. David Fletcher has been a rising star since his debut. You have some veterans on the team as well. This is not in any means a bad team, but pitching has been their biggest issue over the course of the last few seasons. Not saying that their offense is perfect, because there can be many adjustments made to better that lineup from top to bottom, but you do have the best player in baseball on that team. Anthony Rendon came off of a World Series, signing with the Angels. So now that Raisel Iglesias is in town, he's definitely going to go ahead and help out the back end of the bullpen. Now, this was a weird 2020 season. 60 games were played, and the Angels bullpen blew 14 saves. So 1/4 of the season resulted in blown saves. Iglesias in 2020 alone had 8 saves, I think out of 10 opportunities, so an 80% success rate right there. And no Ramirez in his career only ever has 1 save. So right there, Raisel Iglesias is going to go ahead and be that closer. He's going to take over that role for the Angels. And really the past few seasons, they have not had a set guy worthy, big name-wise, in that position. I believe Hansel Robles was their most recent closer, and he was just non-tendered by the Angels. So this is a really nice pickup here. Raisel Iglesias will definitely impact this team for the better. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in a Halos uniform. So you look at Noah Ramirez now, who the Reds received in exchange for Raisel Iglesias, and he is set to make about $8 million less than Raisel, which is, again, the big reason why the Reds kind of dumped Iglesias and didn't get much back for him. So Noah in 2020 pitched in 21 games. He had a 1-0 record and a 3.00 ERA. In 21 innings, he struck out 14 batters and had a 1.14 whip, 0 saves in 2020, only 1 career save in 184 games. He won 13 of them, lost 10, and has a 4.1 ERA throughout the entirety of his Major League Baseball span. So, Ramirez is definitely going to be a middle-end bullpen guy. Right now, the Reds do have some other names in that bullpen, and Amir Garrett is a big one. He might go ahead and shift into that closing role now. So we're going to see how the Reds kind of transition with this trade, but they definitely lost a big piece in Raisel Iglesias. Again, it was a money dump. They did this on purpose. It's not like they were forced to trade Iglesias for this small exchange. But don't forget, they will receive a player to be named later. It probably won't be anything big. Maybe a guy who just makes the 40-man roster at a Major League level. So we'll have to see what happens here with this, but the Angels by far win this trade, even if Raisel Iglesias is only under control for 1 more year. This is a really big help for their bullpen. So now the second and final trade I'm going to go ahead and discuss here in this video revolves around Lynn. The Chicago White Sox have acquired veteran starting pitcher Lynn from the Texas Rangers in exchange for Dane Dunning and a pitching prospect. Now this is huge for Chicago. Last winter, they spent some money. They picked up switch hitting catcher Yasmani Grandal. They threw some more money towards Jose Abreu, which was very important because we saw just how good he is with this organization. He won the AL MVP this year. This squad is looking really good. Some young talent, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson. The list goes on and on. They actually just picked up Adam Eaton, so they brought him back. The White Sox looking to be very dangerous, and adding Lynn to this rotation now makes them even better. I'd say by far they are now the favorites in this AL Central Division. I don't really see it any other way at the time being. The Twins are up there, but they've kind of been back and forth, and the Indians might be trading Francisco Lindor, so we'll have to see how that works for them. But there's a lot still to go this winter. What we're focusing on is this Lynn trade. He's making his way up to Chicago now. He's going to pitch for the White Sox, and he's not necessarily going to be their ace. He may be a number 2 or 3 starter, but he is joining some great company here in the top of this rotation. You have Lucas Giolito, who had a good 2020 season. He threw that no-hitter. Now you got Dallas Keuchel on the team, who's bouncing back after 2020. And add Lynn to the mix, who has been one of the better pitchers actually in the American League over the past 2-3 seasons. This is a very dangerous 1-2-3 punch, and the Chicago White Sox just got even better than they have been. They missed out this postseason. They did not go as far as they would have liked, but now they are really making a push for 2021, and it's going to be exciting to see what Lynn can do in a White Sox uniform. I did briefly mention the top 3 guys in the rotation for the Chicago White Sox, but if you look at it from 1 to 5, this is a really, really good rotation. So, of course, Lucas Giolito is going to be the ace of this squad, followed up by Dallas Keuchel, and then Lynn. That's your 1, 2, and 3. But then Dylan Cease will probably end up getting that number 4 slot, and he's done well and a small sample size of a Major League Baseball career, so that'll be fun. You can expect some great things out of him. He's got a lot of potential in his arm here. And then Michael Kopeck is due back here in 2021 after surgery and injuries, so Kopeck will probably end up being slotted 5th. That's really good. That's really good for the Chicago White Sox right there. At this point, the weakest part of this roster is going to be the bullpen, but there are a bunch of guys available and on the market. Liam Hendricks, Alex Colomé, so some big names that can easily be out there and brought in for the White Sox organization. But this team looks really good on paper. It's going to be exciting to see just how far they go this upcoming year. Lance Lynn, you look at his career, he spent a lot of time with the St. Louis Cardinals. He had a stint with the Twins, the Yankees, the Rangers. Now he's going to pitch with the Chicago White Sox in this upcoming season. But in the abbreviated 2020, he pitched in 13 games, winning 6 and losing 3. He posted a 3.32 ERA and struck out 89 batters in 84 innings. Lance Lynn has again been one of the better pitchers in the American League these past 2 seasons. He finished 6th and 5th in the American League Cy Young Award, I believe in 2020 and 2019 respectively. So you really want to look at this here. Lance Lynn, he might seem like an old pitcher. He's definitely had his fair share of time in Major League Baseball, but he is still very good and very valuable to this team. In a career 260 games, Lynn has won 104 and lost 71. In 1,420 and 2/3 innings, he has struck out 1,415 batters, and in those 260 games, he has posted an ERA of 3.57. He is a former National League All-Star. He's going to be a free agent after this upcoming season, but he does bring a lot to the table. Again, very valuable. He's going to be a number 2 or 3 man in this rotation for the Sox, and this is a very, very good trade. And they did lose Dane Dunning, who is highly ranked in their organization, but I think at the end of the day, Lance Lynn will provide a great deal of success in 2021. If you look at the state of the Texas Rangers, this is not a team who's going to be very competitive in 2021. They're not going to be out here in 2022 either, really fighting for a division title. They are in the rebuilding process. So right now, yes, they do lose a veteran, Lance Lynn, who has been very good, but they lost Corey Kluber. Mike Minor is now on a new team with free agency. Lance Lynn has now been traded to the Chicago White Sox. So their rotation doesn't have a lot of veteran talent to it, but that's not really a big issue for this Rangers team because they are working again for the future. Dane Dunning is, I believe, 25 years old, and he made his debut at the Major League level this year. In 7 games pitched, he won 2 and lost 0. He had a 3.97 earned run average and struck out 35 batters in 34 innings. He had a whip of 1.12 on the year, so he does have a lot of potential these next couple seasons. I believe the Rangers have about 7 years of control with Dane Dunning coming in, so he will be a part of this Texas Rangers team. You can kind of have a solidified starter going forward, for 2023, 2024, I'm sure Dane Dunning will come in and be a very big factor for this young Rangers team. So again, they do ship 33-year-old Lynn to the White Sox, but they get this young Dane Dunning coming in, who's coming off of a pretty successful rookie season, and then another pitching prospect as well. He'll most likely be part of the future for the Rangers. So this is not a bad trade for Texas because you are acquiring some pieces that will help you down the line. For the Chicago White Sox, you're receiving Lance Lynn, who's going to play a huge part for this team in this upcoming season and really help out this rotation. So guys, that's going to end it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.